What is up, everybody? This is Mark the Mike. This is another The Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling Inc. I'm Mark the Mike, and joined by my tag partner, Louis Beans.
What is up? What is up?
We got the review of NXT Battlegrounds, the Weekend of Wrestling, and the Retro Wrestling Retrospect. That's where we're going to start off with, and last week's pick was Conan. So, my first match of Conan's, I'm going to pick, I think he was the US champion at this moment, but it was on WCW. And this way, he had a mask when he came in, and then he took the mask off. He was wrestling in pink shorts. I think the Boss Studios has a figure of him like this. Anyway, so this is U.S. Championship match. This is on, I think, Saturday Night Main Event. This is Conan versus Brad Armstrong. If that name sounds familiar, that is Road Dogg's brother.
Okay.
And this is February 18th, 1996. It was like a kind of a basic back and forth going match. Um, Conan was probably one luchador that actually showed power. Because he still was considered a luchador just because his style. He does a lot of arm drags and stuff like that. Um, I don't know why he had like a patch of hair in the back of his head. He looked like a monk, but other than that, really good match, really solid. It was a bit back and forth, but Conan kind of took over and started dominating. He won with a leg cross, so pretty much like he got German suplex. The dude tried to pin him, and he reversed it with his legs going over his legs and pinned him. So Conan wins, U.S. champion. That's my first match.
Okay. Let's see what we got. This one we have here is Lance Storm with Major Guns
Oh yeah.
versus Tiger versus Conan with Tigress. This
Okay.
is WCW Nitro 12201. How long before WCW closed? It was
With
2002 they were done?
he end of 2001, like summer.
Okay. All right. All right. So this is the last year. Um, this is not really a match. This is like a payback. Apparently the story is Kidman got hurt, but he had made a challenge to do hair versus hair. But he couldn't wrestle, so Conan wrestled and cut Mike Awesome's hair.
Okay.
But Mike Awesome is a part of Team Canada, and Lance Storm was very upset. He made everybody else know that. Uh, but it was not really a match. I could just say it was like 2 minutes of a drop kick and like way too many people in the ring. But Lance Storm does manage to get that cool counter into a single leg,
Okay.
and then that's the end of the match. So like this was a mess. I don't know what you want to hear. This was a mess. This 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 whole video is 5 minutes long, and like 4 minutes is just them talking and nonsense, and none of it is good. None of it is good. Go ahead. What's your next
All
one?
right, my next one is because I was trying to find the tag team match they had and I can't find it, so I went with this one. This was the battle of hip hop, rap, and the country boys. You remember when Kurt Hennig had a song called "Rap Is Crap"?
Mm, vaguely.
So he had a group of he had a crew. He had Bray Wyatt's uncle. What's his name? Fuck, I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, it was Kurt Hennig. It was damn. I can't. Why I can't think of his name? Braid. He's named after him too. Wyatt. Fucking A. Can't think of his name right now. I just went blank. Anyway, he had a group of dudes that pretty much it was like I think this was during the time when no limit soldiers were part of the whole filthy animal shit. Well, they were just hanging with Conan and Rey Mysterio, so they kind of made a music video saying "rap is crap," and then Conan was like going against them and things like that. So this was on Thunder. This was pretty much when they debuted their song "Rap is crap," and, and they fought. This ended as in everyone getting jumped of low limit soldiers and like that, and then the country boys took the win over it. But then after that, they tend to try to take the piercings off of Conan's head,
That sounds weird.
and yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
The hell was this? All
Barry
right.
Windham, that's his name. Barry Windham.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. This is the match that took place before the last match. So this is actually more of an actual physical confrontation. It is Conan with Tigers versus Mike Awesome. And this is, I guess, the week before, 11501. You have Commissioner the Cat, Ernest Miller. It is pretty funny though, because the hair versus hair is obviously Kimin, and then you look at Kodak and then they just go, "Yeah." He just laughs and points at him, but then because Team Canada is, they're bad guys, so
Yeah,
they don't really care to be fair to them. The cat just says whatever and just sends him out. And I don't know if you remember Conan with the skull sunglasses, the sunglasses that
yeah,
don't go around your head, they go over your
yeah.
head.
Christian had them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But it looks funnier on Conan's bald head. I just have to say, it
So,
really does. As for the match, it's actually not that bad. It's not great, but it's more of just Mike Awesome kind of beating Conan's ass, and then Conan having little bursts of offense. So there you go. As for the who wins the match, is again, like I told you, Conan does end up winning the match. With again, it this is something you don't see every day. A DDT off the top rope.
yeah.
Now, did that look good? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's how he wins the match, and then he proceeds to cut Mike Awesome's hair with the smallest pair of children's scissors you've ever seen.
There you
Ah,
go.
they didn't have no, but they have a budget for real scissors. Come on, man.
I try to find actually like legit matches and that are actually good, and it was really hard to find some of the Mexican ones. So I found a lot of crap or a lot of just like scratching my head moments, and it makes me understand why WCW went down. So this is match is one of them. For some reason, there's a plastic goose over the ring, and they had to climb it and grab it. I don't know why. There's no contents to that, but this is Rey Mysterio and Conan versus Disco Inferno and Alex Wright. But this is not the Alex Wright with the hair and in the beginning. This is when he was bald and came out with the long finger rings and shit.
Talking about Berlin.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but he went back to Alex Wright and he
All
tag
right.
teamed with Disco Inferno.
All right.
This was, I guess, a ladder match for a goose. As I was on top of the thing, it was Conan and Ray and Tigress, and then it was them two. Um, it was a really weird ladder match that they just beat the shit out of each other with stuff. They had chairs with cushions on it. I've seen some of the weakest ladder shots I ever seen. Um, they climb up, they grab the goose, and they beat the crap out of the goose. They hit the goose, hit them with the goose, and then they take the win. and it was Ray and Conan that won. He did a double leg drop to their crotch though. That was actually decent. Rey Mysterio is just still always gonna be a good wrestler. It's just the circumstances are not great around him. This ring he had the adhesive horns on his head, and yeah,
I
Conan
mean,
Ravens.
you can only polish a turd so much. That is 2000s WCW.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was
And the
October
last
2nd.
one I have
Yeah.
was before that is when Conan won the United States title in WCW. I
Nice.
don't know if he won it more than once,
One time.
but he has it here, winning it from One Man Gang.
Okay.
This is main event, February 4th, 1996. Well before all of that nonsense. This is basically like first, almost first getting their Conan. They still like basically referring to him as the young Mexican superstar Conan.
Okay.
He has like the bodysuit,
Okay.
very weird armor. It's like pink muscle armor with the cape, a sky blue cape on it. I
So I
can't
have a feeling that he did choose the colors of Maximum.
probably, but then again, the I think the Max Moon wasn't called that. It has another name when you look at his video,
Yeah.
and I think they changed the name after he stopped being it because
Okay.
it has a different name. In the one video I was gonna watch, but I chose not to.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't look good. I don't know who. Listen, I'm not gonna try to crap talk anybody's gear back in the day. It is what it is. But man, he did not have flavor. Excuse me. He did not have fashion sense for his costume because man, that ink muscles. It's not even. You have to see it. You have to see it. The sky blue cape,
Yeah.
not great. Um, and then the match is okay. It's just I think it should be stated that I don't think Conan was ever a great wrestler in America. And him and One Man Gang together, I don't know what the hell you thought they were going to do. I don't know what magic you thought was going to happen in the ring, but it did not happen. It was One Man Gang just clubbing on him the entire time, and Conan awkwardly trying to do like there's some stuff where it looks like Conan just jumped the gun and was just looking mad awkward. Like the beginning of the match, he just runs, jumps on the ropes, and then starts standing in there and bouncing. And it's like I think you see what he meant to do like 2 minutes later when he repeats the same movements and does it again. And it's just like, oh my god, I know what this is. You forgot this. You guys forgot to do what you were supposed to do. Oh, so it's a little bit of that. I think it's mostly Conan,
Okay.
to be honest with you. Let's see. How does he win? He does not have the tequila sunrise. It's more like it's not even really like what do you call it? Like a finish. It's more of this happened in another match before. I think it was Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect or something like that. Okay, so you remember in Ultimate Warrior, I think it was, where they tripped his feet.
Okay.
Do you remember that with Rick Rude, where somebody tripped the guy's feet and that's how he got the pin?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there was nobody outside to trip One Man Gang's feet. It was that he tried to fall away slam Conan from the outside to the inside, but Conan, like his arm, he would not let go of the rope. So don't ask me how. That caused One Man Gang to fall and not gain his balance again, and he did not get back up from that, and he got pinned. Whatever, man. I don't know what the hell. It wasn't great.
All right. That's Conan for you. I was hoping to see more classic stuff. I try to find more of like him versus Eddie or something like that, but he didn't. I
He
guess
had
his influence.
some.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it was all Eddie. Sorry.
um, I guess like what gives him a lot of credit and things like that is him bringing the Mexican, like him being a voice for the Mexican wrestlers to come in down to actually get work in America. And I think that's where he gets most of his credit from.
Yeah,
He was not
he
great.
better. He better because what I saw, it was interesting to say the least.
It was like again the tag match with Rey Mysterio and him. I was like, you see Ray, like Ray is flawless, and especially during that time, he was like fully fast and everything like that. And then you see him running, and it's like, damn.
But
Anyway,
to be fair, the ones I picked, it just was bad circumstances. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was WCW's 2000s. Both of those matches were just a gimmick, like to hell. So it was like, what are you gonna do?
no.
So
All right, we go to the weekend wrestling. We're gonna skim through everything, and it's gonna be a shorter show because again, this Raw was very far away. But we kick off with Monday Night Raw. We had we had Dominic Mysterio, right? Beginning of that week. No,
I
they kind of
remember
choked it.
Liv started well, didn't Liv start the show? Because I think that's day was, or was it Drew and Damian Priest?
Yeah, Morgan made her way out the ring. She pretty much had like that. Dominic came out, and then Finn Balor pretty much were like that. And yeah, it's starting the. This kind of started the little trend of him and Liv Morgan, but we see some things happening. And then after that, pretty much it was just a fight going into the ring of Sheamus and Kaiser, and they fought. Kaiser defeats Sheamus. Really hard hitting match.
Yeah, I think this is probably Kaiser's best showing so
Yeah.
far. So
Um,
really good.
we go to Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor.
He,
Good match. Really good match. We got some shenanigans with the Judgment Day attacking Lee and Rey Mysterio. Braun came out for the save, and Balor actually catch through it though. We had Alpha Academy and Sami Zayn segment. I thought those. I'm actually digging what they're doing with that. It's been very interesting. Is leading to an IC championship match.
that week, let's see. We know we got Otis shaking,
Yep.
Sammy telling him believe in yourself. But this was, I believe, the week that so Maxine got hurt here. So that's a story point.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, this was like the second time I think Gable slapped Otis
Yeah.
because he slapped him. I think did he slap him? Yeah, I think he did slap him this week also.
Yeah. He slapped him twice.
So he's still going,
Yep.
still going. He hasn't snapped yet.
And then we had Braun Breaker versus Ricochet.
This was the match after he tried to kill him in the backstage area
Yep.
the first time.
Good match though. It was longer than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Rico
Um.
would not go down here,
Yep. Yep.
but he would. Well, did he win because of DQ?
Now he won. After he did the Frankensteiner, cut Ricochet in half with the spear afterwards.
Gotcha. And then Braun tried to kill him.
Yep. You had R-Truth trying to tell Carlito advice about the Judgment Day. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. Then we go to Natalia versus Kiana James. Solid match. I wish I had a little more time, but James defeats Natalia.
I think it's interesting. She is like the LW.
Yeah,
She's super powered on NXT and she loses. Oh, bro. But anyway, still good.
Yep. You got Braun Strowman versus Carlito. This went to a no contest because the Judgment Day also came out and whatnot. Natalia has shown talking to Sonya Deville. You have Sonya Deville backstage, so she kind of returned a little bit. Morgan saved Dom for an attack after he tried to use a steel chair on Strowman. So you got some things going with the Liv Morgan and Dominic story. We got some interesting stuff this week, so when we go talk about this week, it's gonna be crazy. Cause naughty naughty. You got Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. They will go against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. This ends in a DQ before Jade Cargill and Belair because he also had Elsa Dawn and Alba Fire come in attack.
Hmm.
You got the New Day versus Ultimate Pain. It was an incomplete match. Ultimate Pain defeats the New Day, but it was pretty much a story or fluent story thing for the New Day. They're trying to show signs that they're gonna break up the New Day and stuff. So that's the way you're looking at. Costa trying to be a homewrecker. And then our main event is Damian Priest versus Rey Mysterio. I actually liked the match. It was fun. And then you had more stuff with Drew McIntyre interfering. But Priest defeats Rey Mysterio. Well, he didn't interfere. He attacked Priest at the end of the match.
Yes, sir. And then he
Um,
got put through a table.
yep. Monday Night Raw, where you give it?
Uh, it has been a little bit. Probably say B plus.
I'll go with that too. I think this week was better. Um, we go to NXT. This is going leading into Battleground. Um, we kick off with we kick off with the NXT North American Women's. Is this the? Oh, that's the Battleground. My bad. Where's my NXT? There it goes. My bad. This kicks off with Jordan Grace versus Stevie Turner, and Grace beats the brakes out of Stevie Turner. That was pretty much it. Was an ass whooping.
I
Um,
don't, so where did she come from?
Stevie
Like,
Turner.
yeah, like they
She
never
was.
talked about her being there
You remember?
until this match.
So she just returned, but she was injured. But remember when they had a promo for a girl that was kind of like a Twitch streamer?
Oh, that's
That
who
was
that is.
her. Yeah.
Oh,
I had to look her up too. I was like, yo, she looked mad familiar. What is she? And then I saw that. I was like, ah, okay, that makes sense. North American ladder match summit. You know, I don't like. So my only thing with the summit is you could tell who's good on the mic and who's not, and it really shows. And there's few that should. I don't know. They need work. So, I don't like Kalani. I don't think she's great on the mic. I think she needs to find her rhythm on it because she just sounds honestly. She sounds like a female Hayes, which makes kind of sense because they are together and whatnot. But she just sounds a bit more annoying with just kind of talking to her about herself in the third person. I find it annoying, but that's just me. But what do you think of the summit?
I just thought the NXT women are petty. I don't know what she was talking about, but they seem like they just start talking and one of them gets mad and then
Yep.
another one gets mad and then they all start fighting and that's all I see
Booker
is
T almost
NXT
got
women
hit.
are NXT women are petty and Booker T knew he was like, oh, time
I'm
to
good.
go.
He's like, I'm out.
I don't know about all that. They just talking, but you better watch out because they can't stand each other. That's what I.
Yep. You have Thea Hale versus Jasmine Nix. This ends with Nix defeating Hale. It was an okay match. It
I
was
think
had
it was because
story
of
stuff.
the story because of uh JC Jane because that's
Yes.
her not her protege. That's like her henchwoman, I guess.
Yep.
Her other henchwoman.
Yeah. What else we got? We got Sean Spears lays out Josh Briggs. We have Javon Evans makes him pay, so that he jumps him afterwards. That was pretty good. Heritage Cup. We had Tony D'Angelo versus Damian Kemp. It was an okay match. D'Angelo keeps his title. I'm actually digging the Charlie Dempsey mobster shit because this make me laugh because he's like trying really hard.
Because he's losing his mind.
There you go. You got Natalia versus Izzy Dame. Natalia wins. She's super powerful in NXT. She should stay there.
I told you. It is what it is.
Gallus makes statement at expense of Oba, Femis, and Wesley. I dug that. I thought it was good. And then we had a six women tag. We had Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan versus Sol Roca, Min Chen, and Jada Parker. This ended with Roca, Min Chen, and Parker winning. And that was alright.
And them being more petty because they started fighting each other
Yep,
before the match was over.
yep. Everyone's
Like,
petty.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had a six-woman match, and you almost couldn't tell who was on what team, and they
Yeah.
wanted to kill each other. They
And then
petty.
I think this was probably my highlight of this show because I actually think for as small time he's been there, I think the promos is working really good with him, and that's Ethan Page signs the NXT contract, which was kind of building up the whole show, but it ends it with him and Trick Williams going back and forth with it too, and I actually thought that was actually really good.
That was cool. Good to see him.
Yep, yep. What you give NXT?
I probably give it the same thing. You gotta give it a B plus because
Okay.
I think at least it moved everybody's story along in a good way. But also, I think this week more than like last week, there was no real bad. There was no slow matches. I think all
Yeah.
the matches ended up having some type of significance. I just thought about that. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, no, man.
I go B. I go B. I keep it at B. AEW Dynamite. We kick off with the return of MJF. Got a lot of things to say, and he said them. So Forbidden
Couldn't
Door is
tell
open. We don't know who's going to fight.
you. I can't remember a word he said. What did he say?
He said a lot of shit with Roosh when Roosh came out, and he had a lot of things to say to
Oh
Roosh. He
yeah,
did
yeah.
talk
He
about,
was nice. He
yeah,
was nice to Rouge. Yes,
and
yes.
then he pretty much focused his attention on Strickland, Osprey, and Okada, and kind of like the big three signing. Oh, the champion and then the two big signings. So he's pretty much saying that he's the top star and they're nothing compared to him.
Oh
Um,
yeah, 'cause he said no more kangaroo kicks.
yep,
Okay.
he's like fuck
Yeah,
the
that's true.
kangaroo cage, but he has the crowd around his finger anyway, so that's a good thing. Orange Cassidy versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix versus Jay Lethal. This was for number contender for the international championship, and Phoenix wins. I thought the match was okay. It just got oversaturated, and I kind of lost track of what the hell was going on. Cause they try to add time, they add story into it too. Cause he had Willow helping with Statliner and things like that, and I don't know. But Phoenix wins. He fights him tonight.
It was solid. I wasn't mad at it. I did think it seemed a little inconsistent
Mm-hmm.
with where Jay Lethal come from.
Jay Lethal was like, "Hey, I would just volunteer myself."
So I'm like, shouldn't shouldn't the other guy have won? Like the other guy have been in it, but I guess they needed somebody who could wrestle. Cause I'm like, weren't they like trying to get the big guy
Yeah.
his start? And I'm just like, well, all right.
TNA
Anyway,
Championship ladder match qualifier. You got Mark Briscoe versus Brian Cage. Guess who wins?
I couldn't tell you. I think after that first match, I had not seen anything else of AEW
Okay. Briscoe
for that
wins.
week, except for uh, anything involving Mina Shirakawa. That's about all I saw.
That's my favorite thing of this week and last week. Backpool Combat Club bought a bunch of team CMML. I don't know none of them, and I don't really watch it, so I don't know. But it was an okay match. It was just a lot of high flying and a lot of things happening. But Wheeler Yuta gets the pin, and they get the win. You got a little promo thing of Mercedes Monet and Steffi Valkyrie. Valkyrie.
Hmm.
Okay. I think that match is gonna be good. They actually had pretty good chemistry at Stardom when they actually did fight. They fought. They were in the beginning tournament of the New Japan Strong title, so they actually had a good match. So that was fun. I actually liked this match a lot. Mariah May versus Saraya. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Saraya wins, but they also had like some story stuff, and I like seeing her using that Bull Nakano fucking submission. So I was happy to see that. I just didn't like the fact that they didn't sell that page the page DDT she did. I'm mad that like that didn't get the pin because that one looked more devastating.
Yeah, I mean that looks disgusting. I
Yeah,
don't uh, that poor girl's neck.
yeah, that's what I thought. But again, still story stuff. It was fun. The ending of the match was my favorite part. Is that's when Mina comes out and then they both putting the breast in wrestling. There you go.
They are comforted by the bosom of Mariah May.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
AEW champion Swerve Strickland versus Roger Strong. You know what? For not for nothing, I like Roger Strong and I like his heel gimmick. I just don't like. I just feel like the other two are just lackeys and things like that. But he just reminds me of Ned Flanders, and it just making me laugh. But this match was great. It was fun. It was a very hard hitting match and things like that. I just want again. I just think that the group is just a wet fart right now. But I like the match, so it is what it is. And that was AEW. Um, I'll go with a B minus. C plus. It would have been a B plus if Mina and there was more stuff with them. I think that was the start of the show for me.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Um, I'll just shout out Rampage right now because I just watched one match on Rampage. I watched Mina versus Shara Deebs, and that was actually really good. It was really fun, and they also had more story stuff there. It was actually quite funny. So definitely check that out. SmackDown. We had Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Indy Hartwell and Chase and Candice LeRae. It's not a match. I thought it was longer than I thought it would be. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like how they make Indy seem like a coward. That's my
Yeah,
problem with the whole thing.
I just want the
Because it
gold.
started
Yeah.
when she basically said, Jay bullied me into a match. What? You're a wrestler. Why are you afraid of wrestling?
Yeah, that's true. I kind of missed the way and how they were in the way, so I'm hoping they will get there eventually because they were a better tag team than what we've been seeing.
I just need them to say better stuff
I
because
agree.
it's not so much of them wrestling. It's just their characters are weak.
Yep. Grayson Waller versus Johnny Gargano. Waller defeats Gargano, but with the help of Theory.
This one I know had a little bit more story to it because obviously they're trying to instigate. I don't know who's trying to instigate it. Maybe Corey Graves is trying to instigate the breakup between Waller and Grayson.
Yeah.
I mean, not the same person. Waller and Theory.
Yeah.
So like that I know you have to worry about in the background, but also this the story because Corey Graves brought it up. I forgot about that. Tracy Fowler beat up Johnny Gargano in front of his kid, which is
Yeah,
there's sometimes listen. There's sometimes where I think some of the stuff that did happen in NXT recently, I think they should just use some of that footage.
I
Cause
agree.
just saying it doesn't have the same impact for at least for the crowd
Yeah,
to get behind Johnny to be like, hey, this guy beat your ass in front of your kid. You know what I mean?
yeah, I agree with that. Like, I feel like they have the footage. You might as well show it.
Hmm.
We got the LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes shit. Yo, LA Knight got him good. he caught Hayes fumbling his words, saying that like, yeah, if I would look at myself. He did
Hmm.
catch him. Then you had Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight. Knight wins. Solid match.
Yes, sir. Good first match. I hope they have another one
Yep.
because they seem like they could be a good back and forth, maybe for the U.S. title or something, where LA Knight takes it off of Logan Paul. Just saying.
Yep. Yep. And then you got the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens and Street Profits. This was just a beat down in general, and they just all fought each other. KO and Profits won by DQ, but ended with the Bloodline standing tall.
There was also Billy had a pretty good promo, and then Piper never got to talk.
Yes, you did see that, and that was actually really good. I was looking at that written too. I'm actually looking good
I
forward
think
to that
this is the
match.
first time she actually got to say more than two sentences on live television, so
Yeah,
that's good. Good to
that's
hear
good.
Piper explain herself.
SmackDown, where you give it?
Uh, SmackDown, I'll give it an A minus.
I'll go B
Stuff
plus.
I liked a lot. I like the tag match. Again, I like that Piper got to talk. I like Mello and LA Knight and even the backstage stuff. Uh, I think the little snippets between of Cody being pissed off,
Yeah,
everything made sense.
yeah,
You know, I don't know. It's just a lot of this stuff was good, and then again, more story stuff with Grayson and Gargano
yep,
and that whole thing going on. Same thing with the girls. Like
yep. All right. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with B plus.
the only thing I wish was they need to pull the trigger on like just these guys doing something really violent to KO or
Yeah,
Randy or something because they just keep coming away looking like even or less than.
yeah. They gotta do something like like put the chair in the middle of the neck and shit. Like do something to take KO out for like at least 2 days or like 2 weeks or some shit.
Hmm.
If not, he gonna keep attacking you.
Yep.
KO don't stop. I did watch Collision. My highlights of Collision. Did you watch it? No.
If it didn't have Mariah May, Tony Storm, or
It did.
Mission, or I didn't see it.
Tony
No, that's
Storm
why I
versus Lady Frost. Really good match.
didn't. I know.
Yes. Really good match. Daniel Garcia versus fought this guy named Tate Mayfair. That was actually pretty decent, but it ended like in a DQ. Kyle O'Reilly versus Orange Cassidy was solid. The show I'll give a B plus. You also had Cesaro and Wheeler Yuta versus FTR, and that was a solid back for. They actually went to a time limit draw of Blair and Cutler came out and he declared it that it was a 20-minute match and it was a time limit draw, and then he got his ass kicked. And he also had
Also,
Statlander versus Robin Renegade.
we didn't say anything about Rampage, but Mina had a match with Deems,
Yeah, I said that.
and that was actually no, but we didn't talk about the show, right?
I didn't say. I just said the her match because that was the only thing
Oh,
I watched on that show.
oh, okay, yeah, that was actually very good.
It was really good. That was the only thing I watched on that show. I was like, I'm definitely gonna watch that match, and I was very happy with it. It was really good, and they actually had more story stuff with that too, because
Hmm.
Mariah came out, and then this one had more story stuff when she beat Tony Frost, and they both came out, and they both looking at each other, but they all hugging together and shit, and that's when she had that black outfit on. It's great. All right. And then last but not least, we have our review of NXT Battlegrounds. First match of Battlegrounds is the women's ladder match for the new North American Women's Championship. We had Kalani Jordan versus Mi Chen versus Henley versus Legend versus Jada Parker and Slow Ruka.
Yes, sir.
It was a good match. I
Hmm.
had to watch it twice because I felt like I was not paying attention the first time, so I kind of missed a couple of big spots. The Soul Rokas, the her finisher, the two that she caught were fucking nice.
Yeah.
Um, Legend's
One didn't
back
even need the
should be
ropes.
hurting.
One didn't even need the ropes. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, last legend bounce. That was kind of,
her
that's
back hurt.
messed up. She bounced. That's a big woman to bounce somewhere. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. It was a solid match. What do you give it?
I give it a four. I give it a solid four.
I go 4.
Uh, I I would have given it more if my pick had won.
Who you had?
Obviously, Fella Henley, but
I had her winning too. I thought it was gonna be her and Michin.
mhm.
I would have gave it to Michin. Her husband won the North American title. You give her it too.
I think I do think though, story wise, she could have had something to do with it.
Yeah. NXT Tag Championship. You had Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC. Very good match.
This one surprised me much better than the ones they've had on the one I know they had on TV.
Yeah.
Uh, they brought the high energy because you see Doc Gallows running. You know that check must be big. So I was definitely happy to see this one. This one I'm gonna give a 4.25. I'm
I'll go.
surprised also that they won. I didn't think the
Yeah.
tag champs was gonna retain.
Yeah. I thought the OC was gonna win too. I'm gonna go 4. And I'll say the only thing I didn't like was the finish because I thought that Phoenix Splash was ugly. And I love I'm very picky with that Phoenix Splash because Hayabusa used to do a perfect Phoenix Splash, and I'm very picky with that shit. And it looked like he was too much. He lost like a lot of energy. Like he was moving a lot, but I didn't like the finish. That was the only thing I didn't like. But other than that, it was a good match. I'll take it with the 4. You have NXT Underground. You had Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice. I actually enjoyed it. I was very surprised with this. Like I thought it was just gonna be a really gimmick match, but they really took advantage of the whole situation.
Yeah, I think the only thing that they didn't do was somebody got lit up enough to bleed, and that's about it.
Mhm.
But like they were, I think the key thing here was that they got two ladies who weren't afraid to hit each other,
Yeah.
and that they got to do more realistic. Like you can't just because again, it's the way it translates to stuff. So
Yeah.
you can't just stand there and throw kicks and punches because it doesn't translate as well.
Yeah.
So I like the way they use the space.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things that I think maybe when remember when they first got underground going, it was super gimmicky,
Yeah.
but and they were figuring it out. But I even to from then until now, I think the one thing that they learned from that whole experience is use that type of no ring environment.
Yeah.
So if you on the outside of the ring, you in danger,
Mhm.
basically. I think that's kind of how they did it. I think also that Shayna was brave to take that nasty head into the stairs, dog.
Yeah.
Just saying. So
I give a lot of credit because they took advantage of the situation, like them getting thrown off, jumping off the ring into the crowd that's surrounding the ring, things like that. I would have thought that they would do like the fight pit. Just saying, because they have that as a gimmick, or they were gonna see do actually the octagon. But I was surprised they actually kept it like that. But they made it work, and it was actually quite good, and I really enjoyed it. I give it four to five. I actually really enjoyed it.
The match I'm gonna give it a four. I again, I think it was more the number one. The number one thing for me was how far they were willing to go on some of the stuff. Like, if you pay attention to it, there's times where Lola Vice had to remember to cover up. I'm pretty sure she got lumped up because Shayna was hitting her in the head
Mm-hmm.
for real.
Yeah.
She was like, "You better cover yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Cover yourself."
I think this match is my favorite one next. The North American Championship match, Obafemi versus.
Also, also,
Go ahead.
there has to be a meme of that.
Yeah.
There has to be a meme of Shayna Baszler being tended to while Lola Vice is over there dancing because it
Yeah.
looks ridiculous. It looks
She's just
ridiculous.
going crazy.
She's literally doing a whole dance routine while Shayna's got like five people on top of her. It's
North
crazy.
American Championship match. You have Obafemi versus Wesley versus Joe Coffey. I think this is my favorite match of the night. This is one
Yeah,
of
I
my
have
favorite.
to agree. I think this was probably the best match.
I think this is. I think this is tied with one another one.
And I think, well, I just think because, again, they have that NXT legacy of they just have the best multi-person matches. Yeah, I mean, what you want? What can you say? Like
I've seen a
Obafemi,
man. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think Obafemi was pretty much 100% spot on for almost everything that not almost, for every move that he did during the match. I like just the accuracy. He tossed a grown man like 20 feet in the air, and another man caught him. You know what I'm saying? Like this, he caught Wesley upside down. Like, remember when Keith Lee caught Priest? I'm just
Yeah,
saying, there's a lot of stuff that very, very timing based that could have been very, very bad had he been off by like just a few feet or something like that.
yeah.
So like, I'm just saying. Also, the way he was perfect when he got beat up and stood up behind the two Gallus guys, and the camera caught that perfectly. I'm like, ah, what can you say?
Yeah.
He was on fire. And then Coffee didn't miss. And I think the person who got to do the least but play his part by getting his ass kicked the best was Wesley, because I think he was kind of the victim of a lot of this.
He was the smallest one too, so he was just the big.
True,
He was the weapon too for the most of the
true,
match.
true.
I've never seen a match that someone hit someone with another person so much in this match.
Yeah.
He like legit beat them up with a motherfucker, and that just made me laugh because as many
Hmm.
times that he threw Wesley at him, it was hilarious. Obafemi is becoming. I'm becoming a more of a fan of Obafemi every time I watch him. He's improving every single time I see him in the ring. He has that Big E vibe to me, and I'm really digging what he's doing. I like his theme, I like his everything, and how he just goes and has the little march and shit. So I'm digging what he's doing, and I'm digging what they're doing and the people they're giving him. Because Coffee is no slouch. That dude could hit, and he could hit hard. And then Wesley is fucking amazing too. So great triple threat match. Probably one of my favorite matches of the night. I'll give it 4.75.
I'm gonna give it a five. That was my favorite match.
Next match is NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace. Again, this is gonna be tied with my match of the night too because I thought they fucking killed it. My only complaint, and this is my only complaint, because I don't like the pop rocks how it looks, especially on someone like Jordan Grace. I just didn't like how the finish looked. Other than that, everything else fucking was gold.
I thought they delivered. I thought the match was actually, uh, besides them having surprisingly good chemistry and everything flowed well. I
They
think
wrestled before,
I
and
think it was uh, again. I think Jordan got to display what she needed to show, like
mm-hmm.
her and style, the way she the way she moves, the way she will counter people, the way things that don't affect her that affect other people. I think that's one of the key things that they had to have get across just to show you why she's special. It's not, oh, she's just a pretty muscle lady. It's like, no, 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 no. Watch her when she moves in the ring,
Yeah.
and she doesn't move like other people. So I'm like, so that got, I you got to see that. You got to see Roxanne, which I would say at her best when she does those high pressure matches. Like, obviously, whenever she's going for the championship, you're gonna see the best Roxanne, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what you got.
And we got Ash by Elephants.
The ending I thought was the only part I thought was the weakest part of the
Yeah.
match. So it took it away. It took away from me. So I can't give it a 5. I would give it a 4.75.
I'm gonna keep it as
I only say that because it was just like I kind of don't. It didn't pull enough attention away to make it seem like it made sense for Jordan to lose
yeah.
because the way they framed it was like she was distracted, but there was more than enough time between her beating up both women and then turning her focus back to Roxanne, where it's like, I don't think that that was enough time for Roxanne to be like, all right, I'm gonna recover all this damage and then I'm gonna take you out right away. And it's just like,
I agree with that. Like I
uh,
think that ending was I think that was the catalyst of what made it. I'll say this. I'll say it would be 1 point down from the North American title just because the ending. Because again, like I agree with that. Like the interference you had didn't execute the right way, I think, and it didn't make seem that Jordan was fully distracted. That will get her like messing up her finisher and things like that. So I'll say they played that kind of weak. Other than that, the whole match itself is strong. I think again they have great chemistry. Jordan Grace showcased her strength. Roxanne showcased her speed. Um, again, as a heel with Roxanne, she needs a different finisher because it's too flashy for a heel. I think like her with the crossface, I'm 100% behind. Um, but I think she needs something that will be a bit more execution, but without having that roll up because it doesn't look good on everybody either. Because Jordan Grace is a big girl, and like I don't think that looked like it hurt her. You see how diesel her back is? I don't think that hurt. I can't believe it. It hurt her or not. Other than that, like the match was good. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go like 1 point off. So I'll go 4-5 with this match. But it was good. The main event was NXT champion Trick Williams versus All Ego Ethan Page. I thought the match was good. Um, I think Trick should do the bookend as a finisher. I do not like the running knee as his finisher.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
But I thought the match was alright. I thought they did a pretty good job for the first time, them touching and stuff like that. I think if they do fight again, I think they're gonna have a lot better match. But I think this was a first way of him getting together and stuff like that. I give credit to Ethan Page and his character work though. I thought he was great in it, and he kept up with that character the whole match. So I give credit where credit's due. I thought the match could have been better, but I enjoyed it. So I'll go 4-5 with this one.
I think the key thing though that at least they kept it consistent was that they there had to there had to be that element of like for as far as they were supposed to go with the you being like what the hell did he want in his contract, like
Yeah,
what's going on with behind the scenes with Ethan Page. I think that's like the key part of Ethan Page that came through. Like he seemed entitled and he seemed like, oh, this was gonna be a real big deal for him and
yeah,
not and like at the detriment of Trick. And I think again, like you said, it came through in the match. I think that's just Ethan Page in general. Like he's very good at having a personality during the wrestling match. So I thought that was good. Um, the one thing I would say though, I thought it was less sneaky. I thought it was less dirty.
Yeah,
I thought it could have been something a little more sinister though. I don't mean like spooky type of thing, but I do feel like I would have been a little more accepting of Ethan Page being a little more sneaky, a little more dastardly, if you will. You
I
know what I
agree
mean?
with that. I agree with that.
I think this was more of a straightforward wrestling
Yeah,
match,
yeah,
and that surprised me. Not bad, not bad at all, but it's just like that part of the character is like I would have think he would have tried to go for a low blow behind the ref's back. I thought he would have tried to choke him out outside with the wires or something. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
something dirty,
Yeah, I got you.
and he was under that. So, um, I think I'm agree. I agree. 425.
Okay. Overall show, I'll go for 4.25. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I guess same thing. We didn't go lower than a 4. So I guess the show itself 425.
Yep. All right. Now we go to the podcast we listened to. Van Vliet had Carmella on yesterday. That was actually a good conversation. He has Undertaker on this week as well, so definitely check that out. Shout outs to Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. They always have fun stuff, and they always talk about everything that's going on in the figure world, so definitely check them out as well. There was another one Van Vliet did listen to, and I just can't think. I think Christian was a really good conversation as well.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and then you have listened to anything? No.
Just the regular not Sam.
Oh, okay.
But I know he had I think he had an emergency one
Oh,
going
okay. Uh, so I know we're gonna talk about it next week. I just want to see your opinion on it and everything like that. So we kind of had the what everyone's calling the farewell of Ricochet last week. Well, this week on Monday. Do you actually think it's actually legit, or do you think it's a work?
on. It'd be smart if it was something like that. It'd be smart if it was them playing the system. I think that's like what they're doing with a lot of the telling people about contracts. I think you have to remember like years ago, the only people's contracts you ever heard about were like the top
Yeah,
superstars, right?
yeah.
Now it's like every other week somebody's contract, somebody's contract. Remember, but here's the other thing I think where they you can't listen to that is just because I thought Gable's contract was up.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing I
I
was
thought he
telling.
was a free agent. What happened?
Yeah, so this is the thing I was talking to
Every week somebody's
Minion with.
new. There's somebody new. What happened?
Yeah.
When it's not correct, where's the retraction? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess they. So, all right. So I was telling Minion about it too, and I was like, "Yo, I think the Ricochet thing is a work." And it's like, why? Because look, they put a lot of influence on Samantha Irving throughout the whole thing, and they made it a story. It was not even like going on like that. They actually put it into the story. So I was like, yo, what if he comes back? Like, this is a bunch of things. I was like, yeah, the only thing that I'll say Ricochet needs work on is Mike. But that's something you could always give him, too. You could always give him someone to work with, or you could have his girl fucking work for him. Remember, Roberto Del Rio had his own announcer?
No,
Yeah,
I
have her.
wasn't. I wasn't
So,
watching.
Humberto Del Rio used to come out with his own announcer. The dude used to fucking introduce him in Spanish. Humberto
Uh,
Del And then RVD had him
no,
for
well,
a
I
bit.
remember what's his name used to have a little guy. Didn't Umaga have a guy?
Yeah, he had Armando
Australia,
Estrada.
Australia. Yeah, I remember that guy.
So imagine, like, I could see that they're gonna take Ricochet off for the TV and stuff like that, and I think maybe Money in the Bank. If not Money in the Bank, it's gonna be a title shot that he's gonna win. Like the moment he comes back, he's gonna take a title, which I can actually see him signing to NXT with Samantha Irving as his valet, and him taking the NXT Championship. But that's if it's a work, and I think it's a work because they're putting a lot of focus on the relationship, her crying and things like that. So Lucy, I never see this, and the thing is, again, I was telling you, and I was telling Minnie, I was like, yo, they've been talking about contracts a lot on TV, And I understand that because they're trying to make it seem like a sport. So like basketball and NBA basketball contracts and shit like that. Let's talk about every fucking place on ESPN and things like that. So they're trying to make it a thing. And I have a feeling that WWE loves playing with the fucking wrestling news people, and they like to
Hmm.
fuck with them. And look at Brooke Jensen this week on NXT. He showed up out of nowhere. He got released. Supposedly got released last week.
I see. I didn't, but that's the thing. I don't. Me personally, I don't follow it, so it's
Yeah,
some things that are gonna go over my head.
yeah. So Brooke
I didn't know that.
Jensen
I didn't know
was
that.
reported that he got released last 2 weeks ago,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and then they kind of wrote him off, and everyone was saying he got released, and this is why he got released, and things like that. But then he showed it back at NXT, bothering Vic Joseph. So there's and that just shows me like they could play with the fucking they could play with the wrestling news people, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that'd be fun. I think that makes it interesting, and that makes it fun, and makes it unpredictable, and I'm all fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, in today's like era of everybody trying to be the first to have the right thing as their news, that's I think that's good
Yeah.
because what else are you gonna do?
Hey,
You know what
I'm
I mean?
fine with it. I, like again, I like the suspense. I like the surprise. Like I'm fine with having the surprises. So let's do that. Let's have surprises. Let's not always have to fucking predict everything. That's why when I talk wrestling with Josh, like I don't like to predict things. I'll let Triple H tell me the story because the reason why, because if I start predicting things and I don't go the way I want it to go, I get mad. So I'm like, I stop that. I stop predicting. I just let them tell me the story, see where it goes. Let them tell me the story.
Yeah,
But it
but
makes it
I
fun. It makes it fun
the
to watch.
the little thing that you do with that is we do the we don't predict what they're gonna do. We mostly predict the this from the story that they told us which way do we think they're gonna go. It's
Exactly.
not we're not trying to make the story ourselves. We're like, okay, they told us this,
Yeah.
so they can go this way, they can go this way, they can go this way, but it's not just trying to be like, oh, and then so and so, Superfly Jimmy Snuka comes from the ceiling. And it's like, wait a second, what? Well, first of
uh,
all, he's not even with us anymore.
yeah.
It's-
Who got his
but
dead body from the grave?
who summoned
Who's the
him? What?
Undertaker? He got the body.
All
That'd be
right,
fucked
why
up.
is he in the urn? Come on, you
He
know
is a
what?
real
All right,
life Undertaker.
before we get off this, how see that's a missed opportunity. I think to have made in the WWE universe the ability for a deceased wrestler to be in the urn and then them used as a power source. So you could be like, I have the power of Big Boss Man in this urn, and then your character can do like the Boss Man Slam when they never used to be able to. It's like Mega Man.
Yeah.
It's like Mega Man with dead wrestling. Terrible, terrible.
All right. Now we go to our wrestling retrospect, and use your turn to pick. So who you got?
So this week I would like to pick. Did we do uh did we do Roxanne as Roxy or anything she was before she got to WWE?
I don't think we did Roxanne Perez at all.
Okay, let's try to do Roxanne because I believe she does have a career
Yeah, she was our
outside.
ROH champion.
But did she have more than that? Was that like the only
She
thing?
had a
Because
long
there are
run. I
just
think she was or had a ROH champion for like a year,
okay.
and
All right.
then reality of wrestling as well.
Okay. I see. I wonder if you could find that.
Yeah, because he has it on YouTube.
All right. So you know what? Let's do Roxanne Perez this week.
All right, I'm done with that. She is our 107th wrestler we picked. It's a lot. All right, we wrap this up. This is Wrestling Battle Podcast. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, TikTok, and Twitch. All Mark with the mic. Also follow me Wrestling Week.
Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclone Inc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and we got a WordPress.
Yep, yep. Peace out later, and always remember, follow the Jinkies.